I was really, really hoping that the rumors about Jace and why he was in the hospital were the result of people kind of just, getting carried away with their imagination, because it's always very painful to imagine that children are being physically harmed or allegedly being physically harmed. So, reading this article published by the Ashley's Reality Roundup was extremely upsetting, especially with David Eason's history of violence and his sheer size as well, right? The man is a giant. So just to hear these allegations that he allegedly got physical with Jace before Jace ran away, it hurt. It was hard. Okay. So I caution you guys when we get into this story. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure. So, just as a reminder, Jace Evans, the son of disgraced former Teen Mom 2 star Jenelle Evans, ran away on Thursday night around 8 p.m. He got out through a window in the home, presumably his bedroom window, ran off into the woods, and wasn't found until the next day. And it was reported that he was in the hospital after he was found, and that his real mother, not just his biological mother, who was Janelle, but his real mother, Barbara Evans, was with him in the hospital. And it was very telling that Janelle and David were not in the hospital with him, given that they are his custodial parents for the moment, right? And now the Ashley's Reality Roundup has managed to get her hands on a copy of the police report, where we're going to see some very, very strong allegations that Jace had levied against David. And I don't say strong as in they are unbelievable to me. They are completely believable. I 1000% believe what Jace is saying, but they are very strong allegations nonetheless. Okay, so let's take a look at them together and just remember that this might be tough. So let me just pull it up. Sorry, guys. So they're saying basically what happened is that Jace had actually, Janelle had called 911 about 3.5 hours after Jace is presumed to have left through the window to report him as missing. And then in this 911 call, she suspected that Barbara Evans was harboring Jace. And she was presumably upset about that, I think more for optics sake. And so she had encouraged the police to go over to Barbara's house to locate Jace and bring him back home to her house. So the police were dispatched to Barbara's home. But when they got there, they found that Jace was not at her home. But she did tell the police that why Jace had run away this time. Again, this is the third time that Jace Evans has run away in the span of about 2 months. So this is what she had to tell them. Okay. According to the Ashley and her copy of the police report, police said that they made contact with Barbara and that Barbara had advised them that Jace was not at her home, but that she had spoken to him before he ran away a little bit earlier in the evening. He called from an unknown number. I wonder why. If anybody is super tech savvy, can you let me know why he would call from an unknown number instead of his own number? Is his cell phone still taken away, and that is the reason why his own number wasn't showing up? Or is it to hide her number from Jace and David? Perhaps they banned him from speaking to her, because if you recall, Janelle had actually sought out a restraining order against her mother, Barbara. And as part of that restraining order, she wanted to prevent her mother from being able to speak to or contact or be near her children. So I kind of am inclined to believe that he was told not to speak to her or anything like that. And so he thought by kind of blocking his number, that would block any trace of calls with her from his phone. But again, that is just speculation. If you guys are more technologically savvy than I am, please don't hesitate to leave your ideas of what potentially could have been happening there in the comments section down below. So back to the police report. It says that Barbara had told them that she had spoken to Jace earlier in the evening when he called from an unknown number. And then he told her about being allegedly assaulted by David Eason and that he ran away and was hiding. So to me, that like just it just makes me so sad, you guys. I feel like so heartbroken to even read this and just imagine that this could have happened to poor Jace. We've talked about this from the very beginning, how it felt like he never really had a true shot just because he was cursed with two terrible, terrible, terrible crackheads for parents who had no business having babies. And then all the screaming he grew up around, the abandonment, Janelle allegedly doing drugs while she was pregnant with him, all sorts of things. It just all kind of mixed together to the idea that he was going to have a hard go at life already, right? And now we're throwing in his claims of being physically assaulted by his gigantic stepfather. That is just so much. Like I can't, you guys. It's really, really painful to even imagine and think about how that could have been, because David has a history of violence. I remember how he shot the family dog Nugget. I think he did it as a publicity stunt. I still do very much believe that. He wants to have this kind of like horrible persona, tough guy, mean guy persona and whatnot. And he did that for attention. And then he chopped up their pet goat and ate it on camera and like just put the head in a trash can and filmed that for social media as well. There's been some stories about him doing things to their chicken. I don't remember what, so I can't speculate there. If you guys remember the chicken stories, please do leave them in the comment section. Janelle had called 911 against him once, reporting that he had shattered her collarbone or something like that. She was sobbing on the phone, and she had believed at the time that David had full-blown broken her collarbone. So I can only imagine what he allegedly could have potentially done to Jace. And it just makes me very, very scared for Jace. But at the same time, I commend him so much for being brave enough to run as far as he can, because now he at least has the support at a hospital and allegedly a bunch of agencies looking into the situation to get him the best help possible. So Barbara says that when Jace was talking to her on the phone, he had asked her to come to Janelle's house to pick her up, but Barbara was not able to do that because of the legal and custody issues. Don't forget, Janelle had tried to get that restraining order against Barbara. She flopped with that restraining order like she flops with everything else. And though it didn't go through, there's still a lot of tension regarding that, and she just can't take Jace because unfortunately Janelle is the legal custodian of him, and so it just doesn't work that way in this time being. And so she told the police that she would call them if she heard from Jace again. And that's when he was found on Friday and taken to the hospital. And I guess at the hospital, they are looking for physical signs of this alleged assault that he is claiming that he suffered at the hands of David Eason. And I believe CPS is involved, according to the U.S. Sun. Perhaps the police are involved, because I do believe that that is illegal. And, you know, whatever other agencies need to be involved at this moment as well. So good for that at the very least. Now, this is starkly different from the initial claims that disgraced former Teen Mom 2 star Jenelle Evans and David Eason were making on social media when it was first reported that Jace had run away for the third time. Janelle had blamed it all on a girlfriend. She said he ran away because he was so obsessed with his girlfriend. I guess he wanted to go see his girlfriend or something like that. David claimed that he was running away because of Barbara's way of raising him. She had, quote unquote, taught him that that was acceptable, all sorts of things like that. They never once took any sort of responsibility. So now hearing that the official police report is saying that Jace's motive for running away was because he was allegedly assaulted by his stepfather, like that is huge, you guys, absolutely huge. I do have to say, it doesn't surprise me if that is the case and it's true. It doesn't surprise me that Janelle chose to throw her child under the bus and defend her no good husband, because guess what? That's exactly what she did when they lost custody of all of their kids. Back when David had shot Nugget, she had the opportunity to stay in the home with the children so that they wouldn't be uprooted and just traumatized from being placed in all sorts of different homes. But guess what she decided to do instead? She decided to stand by her no good, raggedy, bum ass husband instead. So just hearing that this allegedly happened to Jace and Janelle just looked the other way and did this instead. Not surprising, unfortunately. Anyway, you guys, it's really, really heavy. So I don't have too many opinions on it. I kind of just want to stick to the facts at hand here, and just hope that everything is going to be okay for Jace at the end of the day. It's been unfortunate how many times he's been forced to kind of go back to this place. And I hope that this time it was the last time. I don't know if there were any physical markings on him or anything like that. I don't know in which way David allegedly got physical with him, but I hope that his testimony is enough to keep him away from these people so that he can live his best life far, far, far away in a place where he is loved and treasured and nurtured and encouraged to be the best version of himself amongst mentally and emotionally stable people, right? Anyway, that's all for this video. If you guys have any more information or information on how we can support Jace, please do let me know in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.